The Concordat had ruled the galaxy for 3,000 years. Their ships moved like silver ghosts through the void. Their weapons could crack planets, and their diplomats spoke with voices that made lesser species bow. They had never known defeat. They had never imagined it possible. Until they met humanity. Diana Chen stood on the observation deck of the Defiance, watching the Concordat fleet assemble beyond Neptune's orbit. 47 dreadnoughts, each one larger than Earth's moon, their hulls inscribed with the names of 1,000 conquered worlds. The sight should have terrified her. Instead, she smiled. They really don't understand us, do they? Riza Malik appeared beside her, his reflection ghosting across the reinforced viewport. His tactical uniform was crisp despite 3 days without sleep, his dark eyes tracking the enemy formations with predatory focus. They think we're like the others, Diana replied, her fingers dancing across a datapad. The Velkari folded after one orbital bombardment. The Sothene surrendered when their homeworld was threatened. The Concordat expects us to follow the script. We don't do scripts. Riza's grin was sharp enough to cut steel. Diana nodded, pulling up the tactical display. Red markers bloomed across the hologram. Concordat positions surrounding Earth's solar system like a noose. But scattered among them, nearly invisible, were blue sparks. Human ships, outdated, outgunned, outnumbered 5-1. The Concordat had sent their demands 3 weeks ago. Submit to the Empire. Dismantle your weapons. Accept governance by your betters. They'd given humanity 1 Earth month to comply, confident in their superiority. After all, humanity had barely achieved faster-than-light travel 50 years ago. They were children playing with stolen fire. The Concordat had made their first mistake by assuming fire was theirs to control. "Admiral Kerrigan is transmitting," Riza said, straightening. The view screen shifted, showing the weathered face of Admiral Sarah Kerrigan aboard the flagship Indomitable. Behind her, the bridge crew worked with calm efficiency, as if they weren't staring down galactic annihilation. "All ships, this is Kerrigan. The Concordat is hailing us. Time to give them our answer." She paused, and Diana saw something ancient flicker in the Admiral's eyes, something that had driven humanity from caves to stars. "Remember, we're not here to win fair. We're here to win." The Concordat's message arrived moments later, transmitted across all frequencies. The voice was synthetic, translated into perfect English, dripping with condescension. "Humans, your time has expired. Surrender your weapons and prepare for integration into the Concordat. Resistance is illogical. Your technology is primitive. Your numbers are insignificant. Submit, and you will be treated with mercy befitting subjects who know their place." Diana watched Riza's jaw tighten. She felt it too, that burning rage that the Concordat couldn't comprehend. They'd spent millennia crushing species into submission, and they'd forgotten something crucial. Humanity had never learned how to kneel. Admiral Kerrigan's response was brief. "This is Admiral Sarah Kerrigan of the Terran Defense Fleet. Here's our counteroffer. Leave now, or learn why humans invented the word war." Silence stretched across the void. Then, almost imperceptibly, Diana saw it. The Concordat dreadnoughts powering their weapons. They thought humanity was bluffing. Another mistake. "Riza, execute Protocol Prometheus." "With pleasure." His fingers flew across his console, sending encrypted commands to every human ship, every satellite, every hidden weapons platform scattered across the solar system. The Concordat fired first. Lance beams of coherent energy, each one capable of boiling oceans, reached across space toward Earth's defensive fleet. 3 human destroyers vanished in balls of superheated plasma. The Concordat expected panic, retreat, submission. Instead, humanity struck back. The attack didn't come from the obvious fleet positions. It erupted from everywhere at once. Asteroids that weren't asteroids, mining stations that weren't civilian, relay satellites that had been weapons platforms all along. Humanity had spent 50 years in space learning one crucial lesson. In the void, there was no such thing as a non-combatant. Every ship was a weapon. Every habitat was a fortress. Every human was a soldier. Diana watched as the first Concordat dreadnought reeled under a barrage of kinetic impactors. Simple chunks of metal accelerated to relativistic speeds. No shields in the galaxy could stop raw mass traveling at 90% light speed. The dreadnought's hull crumpled like paper, atmosphere venting in glittering streams. "They're adapting their shields," Riza reported, his voice tight with focus. "Adjusting for kinetic threats." "Phase 2, Diana ordered. The human fleet scattered. breaking formation in ways that violated every tactical doctrine the Concordat knew. Ships dove toward planets using gravity wells as slingshots. Others accelerated directly into enemy formations, too close for capital ship weapons to track. It was chaos madness, completely unpredictable. It was human. And then came the nukes. Not the clean antimatter weapons the Concordat used, but dirty, radioactive prehistoric fusion bombs, thousands of them, launched from every angle, each one a middle finger to galactic civilization's rules of civilized warfare. The Concordat shields, designed to stop elegant energy weapons, struggled against the crude electromagnetic pulses and shockwaves. "They're retreating," someone shouted from the command deck. Diana didn't celebrate. She watched as the Concordat fleet, reduced from 47 dreadnoughts to 29, began pulling back beyond Mars orbit. They were regrouping, reassessing. They'd expected submission. They'd gotten savagery. Riza turned to her, and for a moment she saw the exhaustion behind his eyes. The weight of what they'd just done and what was still to come. They'll be back, with more ships, more weapons. Let them come. Diana's voice was quiet but absolute. They wanted to teach humanity its place in the galaxy. Instead, they just learned theirs. Admiral Kerrigan's face reappeared on the view screen, and despite the blood on her forehead and the smoke behind her, she was smiling. "All ships maintain defensive positions. Damage reports incoming. And someone get me a line to the Concordat's High Council. I want them to hear this." Diana knew what was coming next. Not surrender, not submission, but a message that would echo across every star system, every species that had ever bowed to the Concordat's might. Humanity had entered the galactic stage, not as subjects, not as victims, but as a fire that refused to be extinguished. The galaxy had expected submission. Instead, humanity had burned their pride to ashes, and from those ashes a new era was beginning. One where the word human would be spoken with respect, fear, or both, but never again with condescension,